The number is $23,400. You have looked at it 11 times today. The minimum payment is $380. Your account balance is $312. Part 1. The hold music is already playing when you look at the number again. $23,400. 3 cards. Blended APR, 22.7%. The interface does the math for you. You verify it twice anyway. The unpaid bill behind the keyboard is dated 19 days ago. It has not escalated yet. It will. You dial the 1 to 800 number printed in 6-point font on the back of the card. The IVR routes you through 4 menus. Financial hardship is option 3. You select it without hesitation. 17 minutes of hold time. You write in block letters on a post-it, deferment, minimum, due date shift. The pen runs out once. You switch pens. You are 24. You have $312 in checking and a credit utilization rate of 91%. The threshold for penalty APR is printed in the terms. You did not read that page when you opened the account. You are reading it now. The representative offers a 1-cycle deferment. Interest accrues. It always accrues. You accept the terms. You repeat them back verbatim. The call is recorded. You are aware of that. You buy groceries on the card because the card has points. The points are worth $0.006 each. You calculate it at the register. You swipe anyway. The promotional APR ended in month 13. You did not mark the date. Nobody marks the date. Access clears. You can rent the car. You can book the flight. Authorization codes approve in under 2 seconds. In a room full of balances, yours passes. You close the laptop. The post-it stays on the desk. The one on the fridge stays where it is. The statement refreshes at 12:01 a.m. New cycle. Same balance. Different minimum. The rate did not go down. You get a raise. The balance does not move. Part 2. The tab is already open. Pinned. Top left of the browser. For months, unchanged. The servicer dashboard loads in 1.8 seconds. Balance, $67,000. Status, current. Accrued interest updates in real time. You select income-driven repayment. The calculator pre-fills your adjusted gross income, $48,000 before tax. It outputs a number, $214 per month. Beneath it, smaller font. Estimated monthly interest accrual, $310. Negative amortization is not highlighted. You recognize it anyway. You are 27. The degree is credentialed and verifiable. The liability is federally guaranteed and non-dischargeable under standard conditions. The servicer offers autopay at a 0.25% rate reduction. You enroll. The mandate is drafted against your checking account ending in 4821. Settlement date, the 3rd of each month. You open the amortization schedule. Year 1, Month 1. Principal reduction, $0. Interest capitalization conditions are listed in footnote 6. You do not open footnote 6. You close the tab instead. At dinner, the question is framed as compliance. Are you paying it off? You confirm. The statement supports that claim. Since January, the balance has increased by $1,140. The delta is visible. You do not present it. The credential clears background checks. The title clears HR filters. Access is granted through a system that priced entry at $67,000 and 5.8% weighted average. You accepted the terms before you understood the structure. You are building credit history. The loan is doing that for you. The loan is the most productive financial instrument you own, and you cannot sell it. The HVAC hums. The folder labeled Loan Stuff remains unopened. Timestamp, 5 months ago. The interest posts at 11:59 p.m. It capitalizes under defined triggers. The balance updates. The minimum does not. The roommate moves out. You do the math on a 1-bedroom. You do not move. Part 3. The amortization schedule is already printed. Blue ink circles the first 12 rows. Payment, $2,267. Interest, front-loaded. Principal, delayed. The lease agreement sits underneath it, expired last week. You replace one obligation with another. Larger, longer. You sign on page 3 of the closing disclosure. Initials on all 47 pages. The escrow agent tracks the sequence without looking up. Wire instructions confirmed. Funds received. The property transfers in a timestamp you do not see. You are 31. Household income is $112,000. Debt to income locked at 43% on submission. The underwriter approved it at 11:14 a.m. on a Wednesday. Conditional approval became clear to close in 72 hours. The system moved faster than your verification process. $340,000 principal at 7.1% fixed. 30-year term. Total interest projects to $481,000. Purchase price, $821,000. Equity at closing, 3.5%. The remainder is liened. First position, senior secured. You review month 1. $1,694 routes to interest. $573 reduces principal. The ratio is not temporary. It is structural. At the table, equity is referenced as accumulation. You confirm with a nod. The schedule contradicts that statement in line item detail. You do not introduce the schedule into the conversation. Tax treatment classifies interest as deductible within defined limits. Schedule A. You will itemize. The benefit offsets a fraction of the outflow. The remainder is accepted as cost of occupancy. The bank underwrote your ability to repay. Nobody underwrote your ability to afford a furnace replacement in year 6. The HVAC cycles. It is now your system. Maintenance intervals are unspecified in the closing packet. The payment drafts on the 1st. It clears. The principal barely moves. The interest posts exactly as projected. The rate environment shifts upward by 75 basis points. Refinance offers appear in your inbox within 48 hours. New terms. New closing costs. Same structure. 3 years in, you refinance. The term resets. You are back at year 1. Part 4. The signature line is halfway down page 11. Personal guarantee. Unlimited. Joint and several. You read the clause once. Then again, slower. The language does not change. You sign anyway. The SBA 7A. Facility funds at $94,000. Pricing. Prime plus 2.75%. Current rate. 11.25%. Variable. Reset tied to a benchmark you do not control. Last quarter, the Fed moved 75 basis points. Your payment adjusted within the same billing cycle. No notification required. You are 34. For employees on payroll. Monthly revenue, $38,000. Fixed costs, $29,400. Rent, salaries, insurance, servicing. The margin exists as a residual. It is not guaranteed. It is recalculated every 30 days. You wire vendor payments in sequence. One account is 6 weeks past due. Terms were net, 30. You are operating on net, 45 without consent. The system flags it. The relationship absorbs it. For now, you pay yourself last. Distribution, deferred. Cash remains inside the entity to preserve liquidity ratios that are not written in the agreement but determine survival. At home, a $400 grocery variance triggers a review. Line items are questioned. Substitutions are suggested. On the screen, a projection model shows $52,000 monthly revenue in Q3. The two numbers exist in the same hour. You reconcile neither. Your partner asks about profitability timing. You state Q3. The model supports that statement under current assumptions. You stated Q3 last year under different assumptions. Your father is 68. Knee surgery scheduled for April. Out of pocket, $7,200. Classified as an unfunded liability. You transfer $7,200 from the business reserve account on a Thursday. Remaining runway, 19 days. You do not recalculate. Operating leverage expands. So does exposure. You are the collateral. The business is the vehicle. You are the seatbelt. The interest accrues daily. The rate floats. The floor is not visible from your position. The lender emails a covenant reminder. Debt service coverage ratio. Minimum threshold, 1.25x. You are at 1.08x on trailing 3 months. No breach yet. The line is approaching. You check your phone during the second one. The payment posts. The balance declines slowly. The risk does not. The vendor agrees to net 60. You have 37 days. Part 5. The claim stack is already sorted when you enter. Senior secured at the top. Your name is printed there. Black ink. Non-negotiable priority. The fluorescent light hums at a constant frequency. No one adjusts it. You file Chapter 11, not Chapter 7. Reorganization, not liquidation. The distinction exists in statute. The trustee processes both without emphasis. Case number assigned in under 4 minutes. The docket begins. You retain counsel at $1,200 per month under the DIP structure. Debtor in possession. You remain operator under supervision. Authority is conditional. Every disbursement is observable. You are 38. Total liabilities, $412,000. Assets at liquidation value, $187,000. The delta is $225,000. Insolvency by definition. The attorneys refer to it as the situation in written correspondence, never in court. DIP financing prices at prime plus 6.5%. Current rate, 14.25%. You are borrowing at a premium to remain solvent on paper. The mezzanine tranche is impaired. Recovery assumptions were revised before you arrived. You present the operating model. Revenue normalization in 2 quarters. Cost reductions already initiated. Headcount remains at 4. Benefits continuation is discussed in passive voice. No line item specifies termination. You understand the implication. You do not articulate it. The room proceeds. Creditors log in at 7 a.m. They do not call. The automatic stay enforces silence. For 11 days, inbound volume is 0. The absence registers as operational efficiency. You are correct that the business model was sound. You are also repeating, almost verbatim, what the prior owner said to the bank 8 years ago in this same building. The plan drafts. Priority claims satisfied first. Secured next. Unsecured negotiates recovery percentages. Equity is out of the money. You initial revised schedules without revision. At a reception last month, you used the word restructuring twice. You counted afterward, not before. The judge confirms the plan. The order is entered. The case status changes. The file persists across reporting agencies. The plan of reorganization is confirmed. You exit. The credit file does not. Part 6. The term sheet is already marked when you sit down. $47 million headline valuation. Senior debt priced at 7 times EBITDA. Leverage is not negotiated. It is assumed. You structure the stack in layers. $33 million senior secured at SOFR plus 385 basis points. Covenants. Maintenance tested quarterly. $8 million mezzanine at 13.5% PIK. Accrual, not cash pay. $6 million equity. Your capital is last in line. Your control is first. You explained the seller paper once. Subordinated. Deferred. Contingent on performance thresholds embedded in the earnout. The seller nods at the headline number. The subordination language is not revisited. You do not restate it. You are 42. Assets under management, $380 million. Carry, 20% above an 8% hurdle. Current fund performance, 1.7x gross. Unrealized. You are within range. Not yet qualified. The model resolves at 2.8x MOIC. Timeline, 22 months. Assumptions, stable demand curve, cost compression, multiple expansion on exit. Sensitivity analysis shows failure bands. You proceed within them. The target employs 340. Facility located in Memphis. Q2 plan includes a 60-person reduction. The model reflects margin improvement. The term sheet omits the mechanism. No clause assigns the action. It exists as an outcome. Carried interest routes through a structure taxed at capital gains rates. Asset purchase triggers a step-up in basis. Depreciation schedules reset. Real property component qualifies for 1031 treatment. Your tax attorney adjusts the sequence. First name basis. At home, 3 calendar entries were unattended last semester. You have the timestamps. You do not reference them. Contractual stability is maintained through omission. When you are wrong at this level, it is someone else's 10 years. The credit committee approves. Documents circulate. Signatures execute in sequence. The capital stack closes without deviation. The wire clears at 4:51 p.m. Funds settle. Ownership transfers. The wire clears on a Friday at 4:51 p.m. You are already on the next deal. Part 7. The clause is already highlighted when the meeting opens. Collective action. Threshold, 75%. You confirm the consent tally without asking. It cleared overnight. $2.1 billion face value. Your entry, 34 cents on the dollar. Target recovery, 67 cents. The spread is structured, not speculative. Carry has been running for 31 months. Modeled IRR, 19.4% at exit. The terminal on the credenza has been on since 5:47 a.m. The coffee expired at 6:20. No one replaces it. You invoke the clause, binding on non-consenting holders. The delegation across the table requests clarification on pari passu language. You provide a single explanation. You do not repeat it. You are 49. For continents of restructurings on record. Jurisdictional variance is procedural. Outcomes converge. Documentation governs. The holdouts file in New York at 3 p.m. You receive notice before the docket updates. The stay is denied at 5:47 p.m. You expected the timing within a 15-minute window. The model assumed denial. The model proceeds. The instrument was issued to fund hospital construction. 3 projects remain incomplete. The agreement references maturity extensions, coupon adjustments, and principal haircuts. It does not reference hospitals. No attendee requests an amendment. Cross-default provisions are tightened. Covenants migrate across issuances. Precedent is created in language that will be reused. Attribution is removed at publication. She was right about what the debt was doing to the country. You were not wrong about what the contract said. Both of these things are true simultaneously, and nobody in this room examines them closely. The room rate is $680 per night. It is expensed. The fund absorbs it as operating cost. In February, a burial occurred on a Thursday. Travel resumed Monday. Clawback terms remain unchanged. Distribution schedules do not adjust for timing events. The signatures queue. Time zones align. The final document compiles without markup. The agreement is signed at 11:44 p.m. You order room service. You open the next file. The camera pulls back. She is 23. She has just opened a credit card. The limit is $2,000. The promotional APR expires in 12 months. She does not know what APR stands for yet. She types in the card number. The interface congratulates her. Somewhere, a balance sheet gains one more line item. The number is $0. It will not stay there. The number does not care who is looking at it. It never did.